안녕하세요, 안전입니다. Welcome back to Let's Speak Korean. Scott and Christine are here. Let's say hello. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요, Christine입니다.
안녕하세요, Scott입니다.
Scott, you speak quite a bit of Korean already, right? What do you think
so.
about the language from what you know?
It's kind of live or die with the endings. The intonations or whatever at the end can make a big difference.
Right. So the rising intonation at the end means it's a question and...
Right, rising at the end means a question like 당신은 일을 잘했어? Like,
Right.
did you do a good job? Or 당신은 일을 잘했어. You did a good job.
Right.
Yeah, it's really confusing.
What do you think about it, Christine?
I think that it's a pretty scientific language with all the subject particles and object particles at the end. And I think once you recognize the patterns, it's a lot easier to learn.
Right. Okay, let's get started by reviewing what we went over last time. How about a conversation, guys?
Okay. 김치를 좋아하십니까?
아니요. 좋아하시지
좋아하지?
좋아하지 않습니다.
왜 좋아하지 않습니까?
나무 없습니다.
맵습니다. Too
맵습니다.
spicy, right?
Right.
You don't like kimchi because it's too spicy. All right, we learned how to ask why not and how to answer why not. We're going to move on now, take a look at the next scene, and figure out what it is that we're learning today.
Hi, 오래간만이네요.
늦어서 미안해요.
괜찮아요. Hi, my name is Sue Richardson. My boyfriend here told me he was going to show me a historical place today, so here we are at Haengju Mountain Fortress. They say that there was a war here in 1592 between the Japanese and the Koreans. Well, you want to go and take a look? Come on, let's go. Here was very fierce and very terrible. But with the help of General Kwon-yeol and the help of many women, they were able to win this war. So you can say that the patriotism of the Korean women has been very strong for a long time.
내일은 무엇을 하시겠습니까?
내일은 무엇을 하시겠습니까?
He asked me what I'm going to do tomorrow. What should I do? Well, I guess I'm going to have to go see some more historical places. Well, till next time, see you later. Bye.
Yes, Seoul has been the country's capital since the Joseon dynasty. That's quite a long time, so it has many historic sites. Have you been to any of them, Scott?
Yeah, I've been to most of them, here in Seoul, Gyeongbokgung or Biwon.
And you've been to Gyeongju too, right?
Yes, also have been there.
What do you think about the sites in Korea? How are they different from the ones in the West?
Well, they're really kind of spread out. Like they call Gyeongju the museum without walls.
Right.
Because everything's so spread out. And yeah, that seems true.
Christine, have you been to Haengju Sansong, the place that we just saw?
No, I haven't. But I do have a question. Sue said that Koreans won a war with the help of women. So I'm just wondering, how did women help?
Maybe Scott can explain that part to you?
Okay.
Yeah. At the time, they were fighting nearby Seoul, and women in their skirts carried big rocks up the mountain to the fortress where the men were able to put the rocks in the catapult and shoot it at the women. So the Haengju Chima is a famous name for an apron from that time.
Very good. Had a little history lesson, didn't we? Okay, now let's get going. Christine, remember where you heard the Let's Speak Korean sound?
내일은 무엇을 하시겠습니까?
Okay. What's new about this expression, Scott?
It seems like that middle part in the verb, the gay or the get. This means something in the future, I guess.
That's right. This little word get affix is inserted between verb stems and endings to mean future intentions. So it's like the verb will in English. Let's take an example. Take the verb 하시다, which is the honorific form of 하다, to do. You insert get in between the verb stem and ending, so you get 하시겠다. And then the narrative form would be 하시겠습니다. The question form, 하시겠습니까? So the sentence 내일은 무엇을 하시겠습니까? It translates as what will you do tomorrow? Okay, let's take another verb. Let's take the verb 가시다, to go. If you add get to the verb stem, you get 가시겠다. And the narrative form would be, let's ask Scott.
Okay. 가시겠습니다.
Okay, then Christine, what would be the question form?
가시겠습니까?
All right, let's listen to some native speakers now. Try practicing along at home.
친구, 무엇을 하시겠습니까?
친구를 만나겠습니다. 시장에 가시겠습니까?
네, 가겠습니다. 요리를 배우시겠습니까?
네, 배우겠습니다.
Hey, just one thing to remember though. A little while ago, we talked about the honorific suffix she. When she and ket are both attached to verbs, she always comes before ket. So we have 하시겠습니까, 가시겠습니까 instead of the other way around, okay? Scott, repeat. 하시겠습니까?
하시겠습니다.
까.
I'm sorry. 하시겠습니까?
And Christine, 가시겠습니까?
가시겠습니까?
Right. Scott, how about changing the verb 배우다 to learn using she and ket?
Okay. High form future. 배우시겠습니까?
Good. Then Scott, 내일 무엇을 배우시겠습니까?
한국 요리를 배우겠습니다.
You're going to learn how to cook Korean food?
I'm going to try to learn.
Wow. Okay, repeat. 한국 요리를 배우겠습니다.
한국 요리를 배우겠습니다.
Right. You already told us that you make a mean ramen, right? What else would you like to learn? how to
I'd like
make?
to learn how to cook some of the stews, like a kimchi jjigae or something like that.
Christine, are there any Korean dishes you can make?
I can make tteokbokki and
wow.
kimbap.
Tteokbokki
Okay.
and kimbap. Oh, that's pretty good. That's more than what I can make. All right, we're going to move on to focus in. Take a look.
내일 무엇을 하시겠습니까? 친구를 만나겠습니다. 한국어를 배우시겠습니까?
네, 배우겠습니다.
신문을 보시겠습니까?
네, 보겠습니다.
Okay, just one more thing. When you answer questions ending with 시겠습니까, you drop the honorific suffix she and simply answer 겠습니다, verb stem plus 겠습니다, that is, because we don't want you using honorific to talk about yourself, right? Okay, let's practice. Christine, answer my question. 시장에 가시겠습니까?
네, 가겠습니다.
가겠습니다.
Right, I always get that one wrong.
Right, that's what we're learning today, right? Okay, one more time. 네, 가겠습니다.
네, 가겠습니다.
Okay, Scott. 아침에 한국어를 공부하시겠습니까?
네, 공부하겠습니다.
Good. Repeat, Christine. 네, 공부하겠습니다.
네, 공부하겠습니다.
That's right. Okay, now let's talk about days. Okay, here I have a chart, a picture rather. Okay, and here I have 오늘, which means today. Let's start from the center. 오늘, today. 어제, yesterday. 그제, the day before yesterday. And then from 오늘 we have tomorrow, 내일, tomorrow. And the day after tomorrow, 모레. Okay, so repeat after me from past to future. 그제, 어제, 오늘, 내일, 모레.
Okay.
그제,
어제, 오늘, 내일, 모레.
Right. Let's practice them in sentences now. Christine, repeat after me. 오늘 약속이 있습니까?
오늘 약속이 What's the next part?
있습니까?
있습니까?
And it means, do you have an appointment today?
Okay.
What kind of appointments do you have today?
Besides going out for dinner, not much, actually.
Ooh. Well, still, you're doing something. Scott, repeat. 내일 우리 집에 오십시오.
Okay, 내일 우리 집에 오십시오.
And I just asked you to?
Please come to my house. 내일 우리 집에 오십시오. Really?
It was just an example, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Maybe some other time, okay. It's now time for Korea Alive. Vivian is standing by. Let's go and see what she has planned for us today.
Hello, I'm Vivian Kwan. Today we're going to study some synonyms in Korean. Now, for example, there's more than one word meaning a mistake. You can say a fault or an error, right? Okay, so these are the kind of synonyms that we're going to study today. Are you ready? Let's get started then. What's the first one? Now, when you go up to the top of the mountain in Korea, you're going to hear a lot of people shouting, Yahoo! And there will also be an echo coming back from the other side of the mountain, right? Okay, we call an echo 메아리. One more time, 메아리. And a synonym of 메아리 would be 산울림. 산울림. Okay, let's get to the next one then. What's next? When you see a baseball or a volleyball game, we call it 경기. 경기. And the synonym is 시합. 시합. All right. Now, how about the last one for today? What's next? Okay, now two words meaning a human. They are 사람, 사람, and 인간, 인간. Okay, so there. We briefly went over some synonyms in Korean. Now let's get back to the first one and review them so you won't forget them, okay? All right, now what's first? Now, what do you see here? A man is shouting, Yahoo! At the top of the mountain. And there's an echo coming right back. An echo in Korean is 메아리 and also 산울림. All right, what's the next one? Now, what do you call a match or a game in Korean? That's right, it's 경기 and 시합. Okay, and our last one. You see people of many different colors here, right? And we call human beings 사람 and 인간. All right, there. We studied some synonyms in Korean very briefly today. Now next time, I'm going to have some more synonyms for you. So don't forget to join me again. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Vivian. Now let's review. Christine, what was the most important thing that we learned today?
Okay, we learned the affix get, which implies future intention.
Right. Then Scott, ask Christine a question using this affix get.
Okay. 내일 영화를 보시겠습니까?
Go to the movies with you tomorrow?
Right.
Okay. 아니요. 보지 않겠습니다.
Why not?
Well, let's just say I have other plans.
Oh, you're
Let's just say that,
disappointed
okay?
again. Scott's been rejected twice today.
It's a hard life. Oh, well.
Christine, but how about 모레?
Is that the day after tomorrow? I'll have to think about it. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay. Hope you had fun with us today. It's time to say goodbye. Join us again next time. Until then, 안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.